If we can go live. I wonder if this is working. What up, world?
Check, check, check.
As you can see, we're together.
We're brothers.
Right.
We're happy. Yeah, we sing
We're
it.
trying to
Oh
do a
my
little live
God.
sit show. There we go. Oh yeah, there we go. That's gonna work.
Oh, tight. Okay, I see it over here too.
See what I'm saying? All right, man. What's the word? It's the guys, man. Big Esco, Mars.
Boom, boom.
Welcome to another episode. Today is a special episode, not just because we're together, but it's 314 day, man.
Right, exactly. We live, baby.
314 day.
Live from the 314.
Tell me something, Mars, tell me something you want for the 314.
Ooh.
What do you want for the
like
city?
one for the city?
Yeah.
I've been seeing very interesting conversations, a lot of swirl right now about kind of like what to do with the money, from tornado stuff to the Rams lawsuit. I saw a random thing. I didn't really read the whole article talking about a potential kind of like initiative to draw in more Hispanic people to come and move into the city
Okay.
as a way to kind of like bolster the population, tax base, yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
And just like what the town hall was a couple weeks ago that I know a lot of people pulled up to and everything.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's probably like a true sense of direction. There was also like something about a rebrand conversation coming up. I was doing dishes yesterday before I went and DJ'd, and I saw like Donnie Brook from PBS or whatever. They were having like a round table just talking about the local politicians and a whole bunch of things happening in the city. I'm just like, it's a lot of swirl and no real sense of direction. Some unity, I think, would be able to get sprinkled up in there too, because everything won't be solved with it. But like, really, if the city and the county stop being on some racist, petty stuff, like that would be great for the region to truly like merge together and do so many other things. But yeah, just kind of like that linking of a unified sense of direction. We moving somewhere. How about you?
I think I'm ready for the city county merger. So we can just be considered, one big area, or at least our county would then, just grow overall. I'm not mad at St. Louis City merging into St. Louis County or whatever. So shout out to Jason. Said he raised you in the back.
What's good, bro?
But the city county merger coming together, I don't think that you would have to lose a lot of the history of the counties and municipalities. I think U City can stay U City. Kirkwood could stay Kirkwood, but just from a region, us getting federal funding, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It would benefit everybody.
Yeah.
It benefits St. Louis if Kirkwood is better, Webster Groves. It benefits Webster Groves and Kirkwood if Florissant and Berkeley are better. It benefits downtown if Florissant and Berkeley are better. I think in the city right now, you talk about the rebrand. A lot of the people making most of the decisions in St. Louis City live in one area. They only live on the south side. And so I think that there's just a real serious lack of engaged population on the north and west side. And not even just from a voting standpoint, like even you look at the schools, families, like a lot of people from St. Louis just live in the county now. Even to that point. Like it's not like the people really leave the region. Of course, some people do. But that's to me what's hurting the city county things. It's like it's a lot of people with shared interest and we don't vote together.
Right.
So St. Louis could still have its mayor and Chesterfield could have their thing, whatever they got going on, but there needs to be a little bit more synergy.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I'm no lawyer, so I don't know how complicated these things are, but I do know that these things are possible. Like,
yes,
New York, yes, you got the mayor of New York City, but it'd be like representatives from like all the different boroughs as well with their own individual leadership that gets pulled into what the city is doing. Like there is kind of like, I don't know if it's a proper name, mayor of Brooklyn, but like there is a front person for Brooklyn, for Queens as well, that like represents their borough. So like, I don't know, it's examples already out there, things that work. I really think the level of like stubbornness and quite honestly racism, like people just don't want, the same way that folks talk about like Trump voters or whatever the case may be, and like or just Republicans, conservatives in general, they always vote against their best interests as well as the broader populations, solely because they don't want to share certain things with people that aren't necessarily like them. That's what the energy be given around the St. Louis metro area. It's kind of wild. It was weird. I was because I've been like trying to add like little interests or whatever on my Instagram thing. So I've been getting a lot more St. Louis content. And the most random video popped up, and it was like the top 5 suburbs to like move to in the St. Louis region. It was like Clayton, Ladue, like Chesterfield, Baldwin, like just town and country. And it was like everything that ain't got nothing to do with like the north side. And somebody called that out. And I think also was talking about how it's good stuff in the city too. But I was just going through and looking at the discourse. I wasn't even really like writing anything because I just was shaking my head at it. But yeah, we still on that level with it. And for us to be acting as if we're this, progressive, forward thinking, moving into the future kind of city, people don't really be making them decisions, and they don't be making them sacrifices either, because that's part of it. If you really want the city to be better, you're going to sometimes have to sacrifice some things that you may want specifically in order for the broader collective good to happen, and then you can come back to it.
I think that you make a really good point, and this is ironic, I guess, because there's a lot of conversation around the St. Louis state taking over the police board. But St. Louis City, outside of the police, have a real enforcement problem. And like there are citizens downtown that are upset because we don't really tow cars as a city. Parking tickets, you get thousands of dollars worth of parking tickets. You're not gonna get the boot. You're not gonna get, you know what I'm saying, none of that type of shit. And so it's just like, if anybody could just live here, anything gonna happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's certain stuff that like niggas just not even gonna try living in other cities because they're like, then they gonna tow us, they gonna do this, they gonna do that. And St. Louis has a really low baseline. So it's like our baseline needs to rise up as a city. I feel like that causes so many problems.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's a trickle-down effect on how we view things. It's how we view trash. It's how we view neighborhoods. It's like, if we're saying that, oh, you can't even get arrested or you can't even get a ticket.
Right.
What are we really doing? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
and I know the crime thing gets like a bad rep, understandably so. It can get vicious around the city from time to time. But also, there are great pilot programs right now. Speaking of other proven examples of success stories, look at Chicago, look at Baltimore. Nationally, crime has been actually going down across the board for several years now. So we already kind of in these moments where people are doing, I guess maybe we would call them experimental or innovative ideas or whatever the case may be. But like what they're doing in Baltimore is ideas, working. Bro. Yeah, like let's try some of this stuff ourselves.
We good.
Okay.
Yeah, we just switched.
Yeah, but let's try some of that stuff out in the city. I think the mayor up in Chicago, Mayor Johnson, he is expanding the Youth Works program this year. I think a little more money, but also I think like the age spectrum is broader, like up to like age 24 now. But like, yes, those young people also could use, a leg up and some help getting into, like the workforce and things like that. But that has literally all that kind of stuff. Yeah, exactly. And especially when the federal funding has been cut off for those sort of things. But like people do participate in those projects, and actually it works out more often than it doesn't. So like, I don't know. I just think about where people are like putting their attention. It's looking kind of like Trump ballroom in the White House is right now. Like that's what you focusing on. We got like way more dire pressing issues out here. Like the cost of living is preposterous.
Yeah.
Like Mos Def said.
That's a great word. That's a great word.
It's like, what are we doing making a golden ballroom when like, or spending $1 billion a day when like, after a month worth of that, we got enough to eradicate homelessness.
You know what I mean? It makes you just wonder. People have been saying the same story for years and years. You know what I mean? Whitey's on the moon. So
for sure.
You know what I mean? We've been saying having the same gripe with the powers that be for a long time.
Right.
In this country in particular, And when will it change? That's why, we're talking about our local government.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It starts from that. Like, is there a possibility, or is there even a candidate that would even make a place like Missouri push towards blue, like with a governor? Because our governor now, Kehoe, he's not doing anybody any. It's not like our rural areas are doing great and we're booming and farming and XYZ.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like our,
But he up here worried about redistricting.
You know what I'm saying?
Keeping minimum
weird,
wages
bro.
low.
It's so weird, bro. It's just super weird. But anyway, happy 314 day.
Happy 314 day. I am optimistic. Like touching down in the city earlier today, riding around, because it's all type of stuff happening downtown. St. Patrick's Day, soccer game, yada yada yada. And like instead of us just cutting across like I normally would, we had to hop on the highway real quick, wrap around off of Jefferson, come down. So I'm looking at Union Station, the soccer arena, the Ferris wheel. It's a beautiful shot. Like you can see the potential, and like it be these little things that pop up. You hear about new development situations and all that, but we have a hard time retaining young talent in the city. For real. And I think that's the real thing that we need. I mean, I'm here. I welcome, our brown Latino brothers and sisters. If we do get more of them, I'm here for a more culturally and ethnically diverse St. Louis and a stronger tax base as well. But like even with that, we still need to be able to provide jobs for people. And I think that we can do it, but it requires vision more so than it does like conversations. I think we've had enough conversations, and everybody not gonna get their thing. Honestly, I'm very much so here for like a lot of what the black folk from the north side is fighting for and all of that. But realistically, when it's time to come to the table and really like break that bread down, we might not get everything, but the things that are of most material and substantive gain, I think we should go for that. Let's go for everything. You never know what they will say no to. So like definitely aim for the skies. But like, it's that part where it becomes that give and take a little bit. We Libras, so we might be a little more lenient to making a deal with somebody. But again, if we want the region as a whole to be better, like we're gonna have to like make some deals. But also let's get some real vision, because I think we have a hotbed of talent. Like the tech wave kind of was here. There's still some folks with some solid jobs and all that. Buddy, he was bogus for firing all them people over there at what is it?
Where?
Brink, Block or whatever. The layoffs. Yeah. Dorsey, he was a little bogus for that or whatever, and blaming AI. But besides that, it's a healthy population of people with decent, upwardly mobile career positions. And this is a hotbed of just dope talent in the city right now. And it's a lot of like vacant buildings that are being repurposed and reused. Like we have the makings of like an actual cultural epicenter right here between the talent and the cheap cost of living and the spaces that we could really make. If we're talking a rebrand, that's what St. Louis could really be.
The bones are there.
Yeah.
To your point, that's what you're saying. The bones are already there because it used to be what it was. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And with the north side, it's really tough because I feel like people who don't go over there, people who've never lived over there, it's hard for them to imagine how empty it really is.
Exactly.
And so it's not enough. It's not strong enough communities. The communities still exist. They're just not strong enough. It's not enough of their voices, at one time. Whether that would have been keeping a mayor like Tashara Jones, whether that would have been going in a totally different direction to where we in a totally different situation altogether.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was really hard, even when it comes down to like the Senate with Wesley Bell and Corey Bush, So
I see she running again. No, I'm happy for that.
Yeah, I think, and she was acquitted of all that stuff that they tried to put on.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay,
you know what I mean? They be on bullshit. Speaking of 314 day, I do want to give a shout out to, a legend now. His legend is growing, man. Jason Tatum.
Oh,
Jason Lamar Tatum. I don't know what Christopher.
Oh, that's his middle name.
I looked it up. Me and Alexia was joking. I was like, "What's Jason Tatum's middle name?
JCT.
Is it
That
ghetto?
ain't bad.
I was like, is it something ghetto like Dante or like?"
That actually would have been hard. Jason Dante Tatum would have kind of.
That's Tanel's middle name.
I got a cousin named Dante. A cool ass nigga too.
Yeah. I knew a Dante. Yeah, Dante was cool. Dante was cool. You know what I mean? But no, man, Jason Tatum came back the whole sports world had to stop for a second to kind of give JT his flowers and came back looking good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, shout out to him.
He went up for that one, what was it, the alley oop, I think.
Whoa.
But after that though, I feel like he kind of got whatever jitters off of him. Like, he looked good, and he can still rest because Boston was like Brown said, we didn't need him back, and I don't know if that was like. It's kind of weird. They've always had a little bit of tension. I feel like just on some like, who really the guy?
That. I think they passed that.
Yeah. I will hope, especially because they won now too. Y'all know how to win together,
right?
But like that just made me think of it when he said that after the game. But like, that's good that he is still rested. He feels good because they might win it in the playoffs, bro. They look good.
I think they're the favorite now.
Yeah,
in my opinion, like they're the favorite. Like, because you could never doubt the heart of a champion. At least coming out of the East.
Mm-hmm.
At least coming out of the East, I still got OKC as the best team right now.
Okay, really? Because San Antonio on their ass. I looked at the separation between
I'm a person
1 and 2, and then the rest of the West, and I'm like, yeah.
In my NBA watching history, which I can say for sure, I can account for the last 26 years. I could probably go like 28.
Okay,
but like the last 26 years for sure, right?
Okay.
There has not been somebody that's contended for the championship that didn't have playoff experience. Even when you think about LeBron, when he went to championship in his 4th year, he missed the playoffs the first 2 years. He went to playoffs the 3rd year, and then he went to the finals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they would just be a completely new thing to where a group never been to the playoffs together, and then they go to the finals. Well, we just never seen it.
That's fair.
So that's all I'm saying. They are early. They just early.
I about to say they're very, very young and like Wemby. I don't know, man. I know we had these ongoing conversations about like the new face of the league, but at least for me, man,
it's obvious. It's been obvious.
Yeah, Wemby and Ant are them guys. I'm like them gonna be my 2 favorite players once like Bron and KD retire.
There are multiple faces of the league.
SGA, I mean, I support him as a face. Like, I can live without.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think you have like even like Jason Tatum is a face.
True.
Jaylen Brown is a face.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a real smart brother too. That's a real smart brother. I like his brand actually.
You know what I'm saying? Jaylen Brown is the man.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like the NBA is somewhat a cast of characters. It hasn't been like this since, in my opinion, 2003. That last Michael Jordan year. Were you from Michael Jordan? You know what I'm saying? Down to, well, it wasn't D-Wade them. They was that next year, but just Yao Ming.
Right. That was that transitional era though, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? That was a little period right there. Even the next couple years, you introduce LeBron, Dwight Howard, like you introduce these foundational kind of people. We're in that space right now.
Right.
LeBron will be coming out the league, AJ DeBonce. You know what I mean? Like, it's just in that transition. You know what I mean? So
that was back when we had 2 NBA video game franchises.
Hey, low key, I'm waiting for 2K to come. College NBA.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fire. I said NBA, NCAA.
Okay.
Women's game. We were talking about
Unrivaled, and CBA, all of that. Yeah.
I'll express my true feelings on the podcast.
Okay.
I have a hard time watching non-5-on-5 basketball.
Really?
Yeah, it's just not as interesting to me. It don't count as much.
Okay.
So it's like all the girls that are out there, women, I don't know if they like to be called girls. I say boys and girls.
Fair enough.
All the guys, I don't know if they want to guys. So all the people playing. Right.
I'll take it.
Right. I know that they can play.
Right.
They're already pros. Some of them are college champions, Olympians, right? Them playing 3-on-3 don't really change that for me. So it's like it looks competitive in there, like they're playing, but the stakes to me as a fan watching, I don't know if I'm not a big enough fan of them, but I don't even think that's true because I watch Paige Beckers on Dallas Wings and they sucked, but I watched a lot of their games.
Right.
Because it was 5-on-5, I feel like. So I'm just having a hard time like getting my competitive interest.
Okay.
It feels novelty.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't feel like a real.
Do you feel the same way about Ice Cube's league?
Yes, but that's different to me because most of those people are retired NBA players or players that just can't play they can't make an Olympic team. They can't can't play.
So I get is the thing then that like you would rather see the active pros do 5-on-5.
No, hold on. That is not that interesting competitive to me either.
Okay.
I went to that live. I went to it in Detroit. Super fun event.
Okay.
Like fun event. it was music. Ice Cube performed. I had a great time. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But like from a television standpoint, I don't really want to watch. Now I might watch some clips on YouTube, or
Okay.
I might watch the highlights because I've watched like the highlights on YouTube. I might watch some clips on Instagram, TikTok, something like that. But like, oh, 7 o'clock, let me watch the game. Like I tried to watch it last season, watch it this season. I'm interested in the players, but it just doesn't keep my interest.
No, so that's fair. I mean, I kind of was like reading and writing about it for my trend report project I'm working on, and it's interesting because it's a bunch of different metrics and KPIs that you could tout or look down on or whatever. The narratives that are being created, because I guess to your point, their TV ratings weren't necessarily as high this year, but their attendance was doing record numbers. They sold out Barclays Arena. There's a lot of big like attention around the championships, all of that. I did watch some of the championship game. It was a good game. I liked it, good way for them to go out.
As hell.
Yeah,
like,
they definitely be hooping.
The skill is on display.
Yeah. But just looking at it, I guess, as a product, it's interesting to hear you say that, because if the numbers look like that from a TV perspective with ratings and all of that, and they're coming up into like a very big year, pivotal year, because I guess they have like we can cut y'all off after next year or whatever. If we don't like the situation, we can just like cut ties as opposed to doing a full 10 years. So they are going to need to do that and like really turn it up. I don't know how, maybe through marketing, maybe it is the 3-on-3 format.
Clark and Asia Wilson.
Yeah. So gotta really like
play.
Yeah. Exactly. So some of that getting up in it, but then it's these other things like when they do the one-on-ones and all of that, like people love that stuff. It is super cool to see two really good athletes at the highest level going one-on-one. I watched that with a wide receiver and the damn cornerback jamming each other or whatever. Like I just like to see that sort of intensity and competition.
Okay. And this is probably because I'm like a traditionalist. I'm a purist when it comes to basketball.
Okay.
Right. I was taught the game by 20th century coaches. You know what I'm saying? Not 21st century coaches. 20th century coaches, right? You make a team. There's no world champions in one-on-one. Now people have started to make this up now. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's like the dude who killing at lunch, but you're not on the team.
Right.
It's like I'm not saying you can't play.
Right.
But we don't. I just don't take you as serious as the. You know what I mean? And that's all I'm saying. Like I'm much more interested in what LSU gonna do in the tournament than who won the one-on-one at the arrival out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I'm saying. Not because it's not interesting, not because it's not tight, but I'm just like, I mean, yeah, they're pros. They're all tight. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I could imagine if I was 12, if I was like 15, you know what I'm saying? I'm super into women's basketball. I'm like, oh, this is super fire.
Right.
I've never experienced anything like this. That's all I'm saying.
And it's only the girls doing it right now. They haven't even brought it up, which they should, or they might bring it up.
That's what I'm saying. That's why the dudes
NBA
don't do
too.
that.
You say what?
That's why the dudes. That's what I'm trying to say. The dudes aren't thirsty to do it because it's like, well, who? I mean, one outside of just being rich, but it's like, yeah, but beat me with your team.
No, yeah, right. I mean, it is a team sport
because this is a dude out there who's sitting on somebody's bench that would shred everybody.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. But is he the tightest person in the league? No. Are we gonna like? You know, that's all I'm saying. It's like,
so I don't know. For me, I
guess,
basketball
player. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of it's like rappers. Like it's why Jay-Z don't freestyle.
Okay.
You know why Jay-Z don't freestyle.
Right.
Not to say that he, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Why Jay don't freestyle? Because it's like, well, that's not how the best really measure up for real. When in that he's in a different class. Now the younger guys who still need to figure it out, they got something to prove. Yeah, but I don't really need to see JT and Kevin Durant play one-on-one because it's like that's not where we measure it up. Is all I'm saying as a male hooper.
Yeah, no, I feel you, and I mean basketball is your thing, so I definitely feel you. As a casual fan, I guess, I do think that I'm not necessarily seeing the superstars go against each other. That feel more like a video game situation, but I think maybe like you're just on the outskirts of all-star and kind of like mid-tier. Maybe you're not a perennial all-star, like you might get in sometimes versus not Jamal Murray caliber player or something like that.
Right.
I'm actually interested in seeing that because there's so much lore about all those random pickup games and one-on-ones that do
we
happen.
see them now.
Kind of, but not really. Like, I haven't really seen Kyrie go against Steph Curry. And I know that they be going at each other when it's like Olympics training time.
But that's
or them
what I'm
random
saying.
moments, or All-Star or whatever. It's like, oh, these niggas, they work out together in the summer. And it's like,
right.
Oh, we had a crazy ass game one time. And you hear the stories. I would like to peep into that just a little bit. Personally,
that's real.
Yeah, I think it would be cool.
I think you spend so much time at the gym. I watch so much footage. It's like, yeah, I've seen KD go.
Type shit.
You know what I'm saying? So it's on them work out together. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what I'm saying. It's like a thing of like, I could shred you in one-on-one, but then when we play a real game, you really actually call your team one. You beat us by dub. It's like, I can beat you one-on-one. It's kind of like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not against what you're saying, like All-Star Weekend but to that point, that's what I'm saying. It's so novelty. It's just novelty. And I think that the women's game, Paige Beckers and them are beyond the novelty. Now they do need the novelty still. They're still in that state of the game to where they're building their league up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So I'm not, that's why I'm trying to like caveat. It's like, I'm not criticizing it from, I do think that the league should be doing it. I think it actually is interesting. And they are the only professional at the highest level kind of doing it. That's why it's not the same for the men. If KD and Devin Booker not going to do it, I don't want to watch it. That's Paige Beckers out there really doing that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So to me, that's like the biggest difference in it and why they have to continue to do it. But the glaring hole to me, obviously outside of the WNBA giving them more money, is just them playing during basketball season.
At the same time, like WNBA and NBA
like they have
are going at the same
their
time?
entire life. Basketball season is basically October,
November,
right. For everybody. Right. I just ended basketball season and I played we played the same night as LeBron sometimes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now the WNBA players are the only type basketball players, and I guess they play overseas, the women's they have, but I don't count them. I don't know them. The tightest women basketball players are the only people that don't play during basketball season. The high school girls are playing. The college girls are getting ready to play. They're the only ones who don't. And I know that it's logistical nightmare because you say, well, these arenas. Well, no, you say these arenas. That's what I'm saying. Well, that is the opportunity for their league. You feel what I'm saying? We have to share an arena with somebody. Okay, so maybe it's not St. Louis because we have the Blues. Right. Or maybe it is St. Louis because we got those off nights.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Maybe it's not in so-and-so. Maybe they need to go back to Connecticut. Like maybe it's not in the New York Liberty. I don't know if they even play. But to me, I want to watch Asia Wilson. She just was doing a press conference. Think about the news, and the next night Asia Wilson had 50. Right. Damn, Cooper playing, and then tomorrow, Paige Becker's in there playing. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hooping. Like that's what it is. Like that's how we grow up. The girls have it, the boys have it. Like it's kind of a synergy, and I just feel like it's too hard to get people to watch that shit because it's just not on. And I know TV space too. College basketball is so popular. XYZ is so popular.
Yeah, it's just a lot of competition. That was my main thing. I get it from like this is the time of the year when like hooping
and it don't have to be 1-to-1. Playing 30 games. So it's just like what they start playing in February,
like right after
All-Star.
Exactly.
February, March, April, May, June, July. August they're done, and then we start in the mid. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like I think that's her. Even like to your point, the league was ramping up during the NCAA women's. The NCAA women's tournament has to be the biggest tournament of women's basketball. That's the most eyes on women's basketball. Now it's kind of transitioning to the WNBA because of the stars
that actually leaving college and
going to the you know what I mean? But like on a consistent basis, you know what I mean? Like that's it's right there. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get why it's a logistical nightmare, but I think that's also where the opportunity is. How are you not the WNBA? And like you said, and to me, that's where the NBA, and we can kind of transition to this and kind of like some of the stuff that's going on. The NBA purposely puts a cap on the WNBA success because it needs to work first before the WNBA. So when you think about the streaming rights and all the other stuff, right? Because how's the WNBA not on Netflix?
Right.
That seems super obvious, right? But it's tied with the NBA and where it's got to go and find these other things. So it's like it's these other streaming hubs like What if you got on freaking Facebook
Mm-hmm.
and it's the WNBA game, if it was regional or something like that, if they can't get local TV, or like I said, Netflix. If the WNBA was on Netflix, oh damn, it's Tuesday, it's live. I might just tune in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's they got to break. Like, I'm not saying they have to break away from the NBA, but they're gonna have to find a new space in order to really have the success that they see that they want. They're never, because for instance, 2028, the Olympics. So they're gonna have to stop playing, kind of like hockey.
Right.
But like I'm saying, that is built into hockey in a different kind of way. And the Winter Olympics are just a different kind of thing. We like the summer basketball because LeBron and them don't play basketball in the summer. That's why we really like it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the college athletes, even when they play, oh, it's outside of basketball season. This is a special tournament.
Low key, isn't FIBA going on right now too? Like damn near right after Unrivaled, I feel like I saw them wearing the national. Yeah,
it's FIBA. Yeah. Men, we got like, we sound like James Wiseman.
Yeah, I know for the pro women though, a lot of them are bouncing over there.
They really take the world championship and like that FIBA qualifying. They don't have to, but that's another way for them to make the money. They're not playing. You see what I'm saying? Like it's basketball season, they're not hooping right now. So it's tough. I get it. You know, it's not enough market for everybody.
Do you know any of the latest? Because I haven't caught much wind or really even been watching a lot of sports news for the last couple of weeks. Have there been any sort of progress made? Has there been any progress made with the collective bargaining agreement? Because a couple of weeks ago it was sounding like
it was the deadline.
Yeah.
Last week, Nafisa Collier came into the meetings as the vice president, and they started to have more in person.
Okay.
Basically, the problem is the WNBA is kind of dragging their feet around how much money they want to give.
Okay.
And what they're coming back with, and the players are rejecting it. And they had the deadline, I think it was March 4th or 10th.
Okay.
In order for them not to be hiccups in the season, but they can't come to an agreement. And it's the minimum salary. It's like kind of like the averages. I think, they want it to be somewhere like around $1 million for the minimum salary.
I think that's fair. Personally, when I saw how much the WNBA is making, plus they get new outside investors, and we clearly see a growth trajectory for the league, and it's not going to be another CBA for a few years, some years anyway. They need to at least up them damn salaries, because I'll be looking at that. I'm like, damn, it's engineers that might make more than, or finance bros that make more than some of y'all.
And they have to understand, like, they don't like some of the pushback that they get. But it's the pushback that the men got in the 90s. It's the pushback that Deion Sanders took those licks already. It's the pushback that Allen Iverson and Shaq and them already got, where it's like, well, you can play about your salary, but they took our jobs. Right. It's that kind of thing. So they're gonna have to get over that and just make their money if that's what they want to do. Because to the point that I'm making, the way that, and this is even a marketing thing, they market it not in like a novelty type of way. You know what I'm saying?
They market what you talking about, the WNBA?
Okay, the WNBA. Okay. You know what I'm saying? To where, after a certain point, how long can you be a challenger brand? Right? Let's get into a real conversation, right? How long can you be a challenger brand? Now, to be a woman and exist and have power is to already be challenging.
Right.
But what I mean is like the effects of your brand on the people, that your brand has to continue to energize people for them to take action. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what I'm saying is, I think that they're struggling with new people taking action. Now, I know they can say the views went up, the XYZ, but that's, like I said, stars came into the game. How do you continuously have that if Caitlin Clark don't play no more? Right. And I think it's the positioning of the league, right? Where the position of the league should be about nothing else, the stars, right? They need to position Angel Reese not to be like this menace on the court, whether she does, but they need to actively try to push that into tenacity and this and create these narratives. Asia Wilson, the champion. It's almost like wrestling in a kind of certain way, because like that's what you're competing against. You're competing against so many eyeballs. I think that they market it,
the attention economy.
they market it for purists. But that's what I'm saying. It's not for purists. The NBA is not for purists. You know what I'm saying? If you're a purist, you need to be in high school. You need to be teaching children, right? NCAA, like people who aren't attached to FanDuel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's like genuinely, because it's a sport in that kind of way.
Yeah.
You know?
No, but it's the entertainment factor has to be there. Like these things are big business because it's entertaining.
Glorilla. I mean, Glorilla did perform at the All-Star, but I'm just saying,
which
like,
was cool.
But I'm saying the plethora of WNBA, like women stars right now. WNBA has to figure out a way to have Billie Eilish at the courtside. They got to figure out a way to, like, it's women in power, you know what I'm saying? But it's women as stars. Every night it's 30 stars here. Almost, you know what I mean? Like I know that feels somewhat vain, but that is also that's how you market sports.
I mean, you talk about like a Knicks game or a masculinity
and violence. Yeah, it's not just violence for violence sake. It's violence because this is a 300-pound dude. He's gonna body slam this dude. Are you ready for some football?
Right.
It's that. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure. I do agree with you though on the star power aspect. I was going to say, like, you watch those prime time like Lakers games and Knicks games, you see the people that show up. And though there have been some, and there's even, there's been a nice amount of support for the WNBA and the growth of women's sports in general. But yes, more of that. When people see that famous people are going to these games, it becomes more of a spectacle. Yeah, like Glorilla go to see damn Brandon Ingram in Toronto, but it's like people are going to, Glorilla on the sideline, that's her boyfriend. Like that does become an actual thing. And I think that's really the next. I agree with you. That's kind of like the next step. They have real personalities and stars already. I think some of them we're still kind of figuring it out. I like Asia Wilson a lot. I like a lot of the work that happens around her and the campaign and all of that. But I actually still need to see a little bit more of her personality for real. I think she's got a lot of like poise and grace, the work, Wyden and Kennedy, shout out Jordan, all of them out there that they doing for her. It's awesome. I like a lot of what is happening with that, but like the way that you just see, and granted, Ant I think is a very special, one of a kind person, but the way he's so candid, and you catch these clips of him like, him busting the three last night and then staring down Steph in the Steph signature way, or like talking shit with Obama, so on and so forth. I'm like, I know that it probably exists. I don't see enough of it across the board. Shout out Stud Buzz. I think they had, like, they were going crazy with the streaming and all of that, like that stuff. We need more of it, but they need more resources in order to like actually give us more of
even something that you're just
build the infrastructure takes some time,
bro. It's a gay league.
It is.
Think about that.
It is.
Think about how inherently you market that differently. The risks that you can take, the things that you can do, just like versus, we've worked with brands that's for the rugged man that lives in Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? That's a totally different way, but you know how deep down we could get into the American Eagle and the flag and the this,
right,
burn rubber and the rodeo, and like it's so far that we can go. And I think that's why I think that they are kind of downplaying what they actually have, which is going to get, like, the NFL was like prime time.
Yeah. Buddy, when they came through with NFL Films, though, like, rest in peace. I know he passed away a few years ago, but when they broke down how he like changed, I mean, he changed all the sports with NFL Films, but it literally, like, before that, it was, it's still football, but like when you come through with that entertainment, the close shot, slow mo, you can hear like the guys actually tussling and wrestling at the line. I'm like, oh, it makes it so much dramatic. Then for the NBA, hell, even MLB, I think like the Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire era, Barry Bonds, like you got these heavy hitters. Was Mike Piazza, like all these guys really knocking out the park, and some controversy, which I don't necessarily think steroids is necessarily the wave, but drama, people eat that shit up.
But that's what I'm saying.
People eat that shit up.
The WNBA has like storylines built into it. And that's why I said that the thing about them being a gay league is because they have couples.
Yeah. Which is a very compelling thing to me.
So, and I'm just saying that to say that I'm not saying that we need to There's a difference between pandering,
Mm-hmm.
right? You don't have to pander. But that's what I'm saying. It's the way that you position the league. They're being quiet about the things that I think will draw people in. The people that they will draw in are the people who are forgotten. This league is for the forgotten. You know what I'm saying? Like I went to an anime. I went to Attack on Titans last night at the Fox, right?
Oh, it's right. I think I saw you.
So I seen an anime crowd, which is
Okay.
different than I went to Hell's Kitchen,
Right,
which is the traditional play crowd versus the concert crowd, like, right? It's like people who watch anime, they live in their own world. They live in their own bubble. You know what I'm saying? The WNBA needs to create that bubble. And there's just so many different ways. That's what I'm saying, that the league can show up that is totally different versus, that's what I'm saying. Right now, it's still like, this is the best basketball.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. Nobody was watching all the Shaq games because it was the best basketball.
Yeah, Shaq, personality and controversy.
They helped make him bigger than life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got Brian in the chat. Shout out to B-Rod.
What's poppin'?
He was like, Asian Stewie needs to be playing on primetime Saturday night like the Warriors OKC.
Yeah.
Saturday night game added to the legacy of that season. And that's what I'm saying. It's a disassociation because it'll come on in July.
Right.
It'll come on in
when
August.
Everybody's outside kicking it and all
or
of that.
Or you're just not watching basketball.
Yeah.
As a sports fan, what am I getting ready for?
Niggas barely watching baseball at that time.
We're getting ready for football.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To the point the NFL, NBA has to run away from football.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of what I'm saying. It's like, it's already just hard enough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm just like, it's a reason why the primetime shows are on during prime time. You know, and so I guess that's why I'm kind of saying, as a league, I guess they could say, well, we can't compete. Well, then I'm like, well, there's the money. Because the NBA fan that's going to go to the Knicks game is not the same basketball fan that's going to want to go to the Liberty game.
Right.
It's just not. It might be some crossover, but I think that's good that it's not the same person.
Yeah.
Because it's the same person that's not going to go to the St. John's game.
Right.
It's three games going on. Those are all different types of people.
No, I think you pose just from a broader like branding perspective, like it is smart to niche down and really lock in what your definitive qualities, traits, brand is. Your growth, you can still expand from that, you know, like you could be fucking, I don't know, Ramoa or Supreme or something, which is very like, oh, like that's a Supreme kid over there for several years. But as that snowballs over and over and over again, you become a multi-billion-dollar brand in the process while still sticking to who you actually are. And I think that, maybe they figured it out.
That was actually a really good comparison, because it's like, as a streetwear kid, as a person into brands, you wear underwear that might be a different brand. You buy socks, you buy hats, like you do consume other brands. You know what I'm saying? But they work in collaboration with your identity. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. As the young girls who are all playing high school ball right now, they don't want to watch Anthony Edwards. They will watch Paige Becker.
Right.
And that's all I'm saying. It's like, damn, you're giving them another hurdle to have to get over. Now we have to turn it on Saturday in the summer. I'm just like, I get it. I'm a small time independent rapper. I get it. If anybody gets, you know what I'm saying? People feeling inconvenienced by your work. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But it's the reality, you know. Man, something you shared with me about I saw the movies.
Okay.
You were talking about Universal is going to
start extending the time in the theaters. Good thing. I know that's probably something that you would definitely like, for sure.
Extra weekend for sure.
I
be missing shit, you know what I'm saying?
No, for sure. Ultimately, at this point though, bro, yes, let's extend these times in the movies. I'm ready for streaming to just blow up though, bro. We really do need to get back to regular cable. At least give me two big powerhouses. It's like Apple or Android.
Talking about DirecTV,
streaming and cable
services. Your local provider.
Because
that's all you need.
They leave the theater and then it's still super wonky. Same with streaming sports right now. Yes, the movie thing. My bad. I don't want to take us too far.
No, I wanted to go that because BT Plus.
I was. I did the buyout. I saw that.
HBO. They talking about will be under Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
Which is interesting and crazy to kind of think about.
Right.
In a certain kind of way. So that's gonna be fun.
I'll take that. I mean, I have Paramount already. I didn't
Yeah.
go through and like boycott because of the Trump situation just yet.
Yeah.
Um,
They're
and
the only Viacom. They're the only app that's not to cut you off, but like they were the only people that had an external app, which was BT Plus.
Yeah. I thought that was cool on some like nigga shit. I thought we had a little premium
little juice,
situation
man.
going on. But I'm also fine with because I don't subscribe to it. And I've been on BT and saw a couple of ads for the shows on BT Plus. I'm like, I would actually watch that.
No,
I would
it's a
watch that,
couple
but I'm
on
not
there,
gonna
bro.
spend more money. So that's cool that that's gonna
I was
come
about
over.
to buy it to watch Miss Pat show. I'm not gonna lie. So when you sent me that, I was actually happy. It had been the last month or so. Miss Pat show. Shout out my boy Vince. We gotta get Vincent on the show.
Oh, what's poppin'?
He's from the Lou.
Okay.
He's a writer on Miss Pat show. I follow him on Instagram.
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah, V Bryant. You should definitely follow, bro. He hella funny.
Hell yeah.
But no, I knew the new season just was out, and Miss Pat show, like I told you, is uncensored.
Right.
So they do show it on regular TV, but then it's like later on, it's not the same. So so I've been wanting to watch the censored joint.
Yeah, that's all of this is like happening right now. I also wrote on my trend report or whatever because I shouted out Tubi. Tubi is also.
Bro, I've gotten into Tubi.
Yeah, I'll be on my Tubi shit. I
just got onto Tubi.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's not necessarily my first. It's not my primary, secondary, maybe tertiary.
Yeah,
kind of like selection. I'm like my YouTube, HBO, YouTube TV. Top tier, then I'll get like Peacock, Paramount Plus ish. Yeah. I'm not heavy on the Netflix, but it'll be around that realm or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you get that choice overload situation. And I go to Tubi because I like watching black exploitation movies. I'm starting to get back into those or whatever. So I go over there. They got some good hood classics. You might randomly like Snatches on there right now. I had that on DVD back in the day. Yeah, so like that's on Tubi right now. But then I can also watch Heat over there. And I can watch Vampire in Brooklyn
type shit.
So like it's a really cool library of what they got. But why I mention them is they're going to launch a little bit later this year, kind of like a portal, a section on the platform that is all films that are either made, produced, written, or whatever by HBC students or alumni. And I'm really interested in, you mentioned the BT thing. I'm just thinking about Black creators because I'm also seeing a lot of conversation. Old girl from Hanifa, she's stepping back from her stuff. I know it's Women's History Month coming off the legs of Black history. I've been seeing a lot of content about like Black women and Black entrepreneurs in general having hard times like raising capital, all these other things. And I also got into it with some, well, barely, but kind of got into it with some FBA, Foundational Black Americans, the other day on my threads.
Okay.
I was calling them divisive and combative, and then all they did was get my comments and say divisive and combative things or whatever. But that's besides the point. All that you just say, because my whole thing was I was questioning with them, like, y'all got so much beef with Black immigrants or whatnot, and whatever. If that's how you felt, I'm not trying to knock your feelings. That's valid, but like, how do we
move
forward? Exactly. As opposed to like y'all over there, we over here. Because in America, and knowing that in the next couple of decades, a third of the Black population growth is going to come from Black immigrants. Yeah. We should be figuring out how to be Black Americans together. I think from an economic perspective, sociopolitically, educationally, like that, Black immigrants coming into HBCUs could probably save a lot of them.
Yeah.
So just thinking about the infrastructure right now, and I'm like, we talk about St. Louis finding some direction. I do think niggas need to start finding a sense of direction. We might not have a de facto leader, but I think we should get into some level of consciousness about like what the majority of us like actually kind of want out.
Let's stay here for a second. This is actually really good. This is super interesting because I think it is parallel. I hate to do this all the time. It's actually what your conversation is talking about is actually parallel to the rap beef.
Which rap beef? Kendrick and Drake? Mm-hmm. Okay, interesting. I'm with you.
Because Kendrick Lamar is Black from the ghetto in a gang, right?
Mm-hmm.
But somehow he is not congruent to the Blackness that, let's just say, the most popular now where like Atlanta rap is, right?
Okay.
Southern hip hop on average, right?
Okay.
If you were a Southern hip hop fan, which I don't know when this switch happened, maybe it was around Gucci Mane, but now all of a sudden it's like those are the confines of what you listen to.
Right. Like you not actually, because UGK even was socially conscious.
I mean, they knew.
Yeah.
I mean, not even the social part, but I'm just saying, like, as a fan, I feel like you could be a UGK fan and you like Snoop, and you like Biggie, and you like Trick Daddy, and you like, you know what I'm saying? Like you could bounce around like everybody.
Right.
Even to the when it advanced, you could like Nelly, and you
right. But yeah, that. It actually might. I'm not saying Gucci's fault, but I think that might be around the time when that started to break off. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It started to get a little weird because even if you was a T.I. fan, it was like you still appreciated Hove, you still appreciated. He had songs Kanye, like
right.
Okay, so I'm saying that to say that like you have a group of young people now. Let's just call like what came up with the YNs, right? The YNs are like the second generation of like the sagging generation. In that early 90s, that generation of people Bill Cosby hated.
Right.
So where now you walk around, you're scaring people, you're doing all this other stuff. But for a lot of them, it's like, bro, I'm just doing this because my favorite artist wears this. And it's what's cool to me right now.
Right.
Now, there are some people who was sagging that would jump you and was in a gang, do XYZ, and then some niggas walking around a mask that'll shoot you.
Right.
There is some truth to it, but it's that lack of belonging. And I have seen, I guess, first generation immigrants come to St. Louis and fall into that YN dynamic.
Yeah.
Because their parents aren't aware of the influences that they have. It's too big of a generational gap or maybe a cultural gap. I don't know what it really is. And so the reason I bring up the battle and all that stuff is because you can party and you can consume all of our goodness as much as you want, but if you don't do the knowledge to really what it means to be Black, it'll never connect. And for the young people who have that, born in America, come up in the project, come up somewhere, come up just bad schools, may not even a bad family, just like bad schools.
The plight of the American Negro.
Right? Yeah. That same trek that you on. You don't have to read it, but because you live it. But if you don't read it, it'll be a lot darker for you. That journey will be a lot harder for you. Versus like, oh, I'm treated this way because I'm Black. Got it.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? That's all it is. That's all, you know what I mean? And then you can decide to make the certain choices. I'm going to HBCU because I want to reinforce this. I want to go to PWI because I didn't have this opportunity and I want to. And that's where you go. Like trade because I want to work for myself. Boom. But you need to read something to give you that perspective, right? But the people that are coming into this country that we paved the way for with civil rights, that we paved the way for with all these different things, as they start to have children that get integrated, because to your point, the little white kids that go to them public schools or them private schools don't give a fuck what country your mama and granddaddy from. All they see is your skin color. Exactly. And so now you all getting treated the same. We might actually treat you worse because you actually not from America. So we gonna give they don't know how to pronounce your name jokes for you.
Something. Yeah, exactly.
We making fun of Keyshawn and now Habib, you get an extra joke.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You get that both jokes, right?
Right. Exactly.
And then
definitely happens.
They have to figure out how to then say, damn, well, I don't want to be the international Black dude. Can I just be the Black dude?
Right.
And then that cycle continues. So I think that we are at the precipice as a Black nation. Who do we run to? Who do we identify with as our conscience? Right now, we don't have a conscience. Even if you identify with whatever, maybe you say at a different time Martin Luther King was a conscience. Maybe if you identify with something else, you say, well, Al Sharpton, Reverend Jackson, all these other people.
Right.
Now we have these micro influencers that are projecting our conscience. So maybe you listen to Deontay and somebody else. Maybe you listen to Signify and something else. Maybe you like Mark Lamont Hill and somebody else. Those are men. I'm trying to think. Maybe you like Angela Rye and maybe you like Amanda Seals.
Yeah, Amanda Seals.
She from Florida.
Yeah.
Technically, she Caribbean.
She from Florida? I know she was from
Florida.
Florida.
I think she's from Florida. I think Amanda's just from Florida.
And she like, got that Florida,
she crazy.
That thing too.
Florida woman. And then she moved out there. I think she moved to California. I don't think she's from.
She was in New York for a while too, because she was hosting the New Yorican Poets Cafe up there back in like the late 90s, early 2000s. That's what gave birth to Def Poetry Jam.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just saying that to say, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, no matter how you tap into a Black consciousness, all those people are pulling from that Black excellence.
Yeah.
They're pulling from that same source material. You know what I'm saying? Like, however, whatever Dr. Umar, technically, he's pulling from a certain source material. If you just want to know what he's talking about, you know what I'm saying? They're not making anything up.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I think that because of that fragmentation, like we talk about with media, like we talk about with everything, now you have all these Black people getting this information in this fragmented way.
Yeah.
So where it's just like, I don't even know how to. Maybe we're all on the Black platform, but we all watching different channels.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we all watching different channels.
Exactly. And I think that it's I like that we have the options to go through different channels. That creates more space for a little bit of everybody to be able to like be seen and heard in certain degrees. But yeah, I think that's almost like our internal Black people, like conversations and dynamics we need to work through. Then on the other side, we still got to figure out how we're going to advance externally as a unit, because it's power in numbers. It's all power to all the people type shit, you know, and moving in that direction. Of course, you have all these liberation movements, all these other things that happen globally. You know, you got Lumumba over here, Malcolm X over there. You got some fucking people down in Haiti doing some things, the Central and South America, so on and so forth. There is a globalness to Blackness as well. But as you mentioned, like fragmentation, I think between those bubbles and those little echo chambers, and people just kind of being up in that situation, but also the fragmentation of the education, because it's one thing to, you know, maybe pick up a book, and there's some good books out there. You get you some W.B. Du Bois, Frederick Douglass, you know, whatever, Marcus Garvey, whatever the case may be. You got some good stuff up there, but I think being able to be in maybe like some youth programs or having a mentor or taking a class where you can engage in some discourse and actually be able to like hear people's perspectives and how they're interpreting these things, these ideas, and reacting and responding to it, so on and so forth. That also helps, as opposed to you kind of almost militarizing and radicalizing yourself and your own personal ideologies that you may agree with. But it's like, oh, I didn't think about my queer brothers and sisters. I didn't think about the bougie Blacks that's up here, upperly mobile, the Black excellence crowd. They might be a couple generations now removed from the hood. They the bougie cousins that you only see on fucking Mother's Day and Christmas or whatever. So they don't really know what that's like for they cousins that's still living in the hood or whatever. They can't relate to them. I think HBCUs are a great place for all of that to kind of come together, but it still be hierarchies and like all these weird things that even happen on those campuses. But like, as you mentioned with the immigrants, I at least a pattern, I don't really have no science to back it up, but an observation I've really peeped. It's kind of like third generation is really where like they be mostly Americanized at that point. Like the parent and maybe the child, they could be first generation.
Okay.
Bam, bam, bam. Even if you were the second generation and born in the States, your parents would have raised you very much so how an immigrant parent would raise you, because they still are immigrants.
Right.
But by the time that third generation that's actually born in the States comes over, and they just go to regular school and they go and like, and yeah, you're a Black kid, and especially now in the 2020s, because we are so ethnically diverse, you're going to hear Nigerian, Ghanaian names, things like that all the time in the classrooms.
That's assuming, and we're both assuming that those people marry Black.
We still overwhelmingly do, but yes, we have outliers out here.
No, but I'm saying that to even say that, like, I'm kind of leaning into your point a little bit more, that like that first generation, okay, they have kids. Depending on how they raise them, which is usually not, that's kind of what we're saying. I think it's really that second that really decides, because to your point, what if you first generation and your parents don't know better, and then you just Roosevelt, right? And when Roosevelt had crashed out, I mean, shit, for them, this is high school. It's fine. Go to school, do all the things or whatever. But you know though what it's like going to Roosevelt.
Right.
Nobody else in your family know what that's like. So now you got a decision. Damn, am I a nigga from the state streets now?
Right.
Unless you have that cultural support to be that at school, which a lot of times people don't. Now that is a school that like has a lot of immigrants and stuff like that. That's why I'm using that as an example.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But let's just say you just didn't. Like to your point now you go to this PWI. Unbeknownst to you, you're not black like all the black kids. You're just not. Unless you were lucky enough you came when you was 3 and you don't really know Africa like that. But, But let's just say that you're not. You know what I'm saying? Your options in the way that you look at mating in life and survival is kind of what I'm saying. Is a lot different. I had one of my homegirls. She married Kia. She from St. Louis or whatever.
Okay.
But she married I think her husband is Ethiopian.
Okay.
Eritrean. Is he Eritrean or Ethiopian?
We got a lot of East Africans in St. Louis region.
He's not even from St. Louis. I think she met him somewhere else.
Okay.
So I can't remember. I DJ at the wedding too. I cannot remember.
one of the Horn of Africa nations.
Yeah, just saying that to say though, he did not marry all the Eritrean girls I went to Missouri with. They all married Eritrean dudes.
Yes, they do get still insular in that sort of way.
But he just that quickly. She is black. You know what I'm saying? She's
like black American.
We as black as we could be.
Bam, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Now their son, their daughter, if they choose to have kids, you know what I'm saying, is immediately now, like you said, split. I could imagine how much more split they would be if she was white. You see what I'm saying? Because now it's like you identify with being a black person because now people treat you like a black person depending on your school. But you don't have like a black grandmother. You have an Ethiopian grandmother, which I'm sure got the same qualities.
Right.
Just the way they talk to you, the experiences.
That's why I say like there's a globalness and a universality to like blackness. I really feel like.
You know what I'm saying? So to your point, I'm just saying that like,
but
usually with third, I'm like, it gets shaky. I feel like.
Well, so as you were saying with that second generation, so they do the Roosevelt, then they go to school or whatever. Yeah, they know what it's like to go to Roosevelt. So then they will put their kid in a school or whatever. So then that child may, I don't know, go to Clayton,
even
Webster
further.
Groves, Carter Ritter Metro, whatever, but like their parent in that second generation is now aware of they're more aware of like how this shit really go in the States than grandma and granddad know or whatever. But then for that kid, because they're now like you say, they coming up like from K through 12 in like the whole American institution. But then I think the other thing is they don't have to wrestle so much with maintaining their culture that would have likely been imposed on second generation and first generation because
they understand.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they know already versus
grandma,
a young kid that maybe Ethiopia, Nigeria, whatever, and go to school in Clayton, Metro, whatever the case may be. They're just trying to fit in with their friends for real. Right. And of course, like the food that you eat and things like that, food is always going to be one of those cultural pillars that damn near always gets passed through lineage. But like maybe they don't necessarily want to wear the cultural garbs all the time, and they delineate from that a little bit more. And they just wear it for the big, weddings and birthdays and all the big moments where everybody gets suited and booted, but they do dress like YNs because that's what their favorite rapper is on, and they still gotta like tuck their shit or whatever. Yeah, exactly. Like they literally just dress that way. But then at that point, that's what I'm saying. Like you pretty much Americanized. Yeah, and it's like, oh well, like this is just what we do. Like and American. It's fun. It's I like grandma. Like, my
grandma's, so I understand both. They actually are the most balanced between the two. And I mean, I understand that's why people immigrate and come to specific communities so that they can have community, they can be together, so they don't have to face that isolation. But to your point, on their first attempt to come into a community, a lot of times they don't come to our community.
This is true.
And that's where I'm saying I think that's where the disconnect is.
Yeah, and I think that's
I understand, and they just fall for the propaganda.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They find a new version of isolation when a lot of times Black Americans we have open arms. Right. As long as you're respectful to us. You know what I'm saying? But we type of people that we grew up in this nation knowing to leave people alone. Right.
No, for sure. And I that is an aspect of the whole FBA mindset that I understand. They got to let that hurt go.
Yeah, because they're not coming to hurt us.
Yeah, exactly. But because honestly, it's the same stereotyping that we get from anybody else, immigrant or not. It's like they basing what they think about black folks off of what they maybe see in the news and in the media, which is 9 times out of 10 negative. Then social media algorithms literally will amplify negative content significantly more than positive content. So when you take the old standard of news, post crack epidemic and all the other thing with the Mammy and the Sambo and all that stuff that we know literally is in history, these black tropes already on our silver and big screens. And now you have the amplification of the negative stuff through social media. And, you know, as a lover of hip hop, it do get pretty damn crazy with the subject matter. Yeah, no, for sure. It gets tame but too. Also, hip hop is hip hop. It's like it's the dominant like global force. So we just influence and impact on a certain level that like EDM just not hitting in that sort of regard or whatever.
Because people don't be listening to blues.
Yeah, exactly. That's on them. Like nobody's
don't exist.
They listening to Drake more. They listen to the Chainsmokers, and Chainsmokers are pretty popular,
right?
But and Drake is way more influential than the Chainsmokers.
1,000%.
So you know I think there's a gumbo that's there that if you are ignorant or not necessarily like close enough to that community. And you have enough things to like say, I've seen enough. This is my opinion on it. It's still the wrong opinion. It's still obviously skewed and biased in a particular way. But there's enough out there where you can say, I've seen enough. I feel like Black Americans have all these access to, which also, if you're an immigrant and you came over here to do yourself a better, it's like, oh, y'all got free school. Y'all got school?
Yeah.
My kids couldn't even go to fucking school. There's just that's already embedded in them to work.
But that's the grass is greener thing.
You know no, for
to
your
point,
for sure.
You go to Africa and be like, oh my God, there's so much land.
Yeah.
And the fresh air, and they'd be like, well, I'm not, you know, everybody is being controlled.
Exactly. But you know,
to your point, that's why we can't have the divisive conversation.
Exactly. Right. That typically be the whole thing. People be like, oh, well, immigrants always look down on us and call us lazy and all this other shit. The thing that be fucking me up though, G, is 9 times out of 10, it do be a lazy bum ass nigga. That's what I be like, bro. You literally must.
You actually are a bum ass
nigga, bro. You are a bum, and
unfortunately,
I think
they met you.
That. Yeah, unfortunately. I defend my people. I break down the history and be like, oh, well, these are circumstances that we already endured and had to like come up from. And you came over and like, y'all not coming over here when slavery and Jim Crow was happening.
Right.
You know, but I've had those conversations, and 9 times out of 10, they end up shutting the fuck up or like learning something for real.
You just don't know.
Exactly.
I'm not even mad at you.
Exactly. I can't even be mad if you don't even know no better. That's like me being mad at a kid for doing silly shit all the time. It's literally a child, bro. You don't know these things.
Yeah.
So I typically I lean in with love in that sort of perspective or whatever. But like I say, that's typically them older generations. I've also, when I was getting attacked by them FBA motherfuckers, I went through a lot of them profiles. They definitely 40 something plus. Like it's a lot of older folks. I think in our generation and younger, you are having more of the discourse. That's not to say it's
and
not.
We've had more interaction.
Exactly.
With immigrants.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's a good thing. We should be doing that sort of stuff. And at the same time, you know, when especially a kid, bro, all you want to do is fit in. Most of my like immigrant homies, like Muiz, for instance, he's super into Dipset because when he moved to the States, his cousins was listening to Dipset. It was hot. He fucked with it. So he just resonated with it. And like that became his thing. And you know, when you like young, you start getting into your things that you start getting into, you like really get into it.
Yeah.
So bro became like an East Coast hip hop head. And that's tight. And that's who his personality is. But when I talked to him, it wasn't some whole other shit. It was just like, oh, I was young.
That's what I'm into.
I thought it was cool. My cousins and friends thought it was cool. So I dove into it. As simple as that, bro.
That's it.
Yeah.
Man. All right. To end this, what are your thoughts about I saw a tweet they called my man Yaqub Kweli.
I didn't see that. That's funny. Yaqub Kweli.
We're talking about Jack Harlow. For the people that don't, have you seen the new pictures?
I saw one of them. I think he might have had like a head wrap on or whatever. I also saw somebody like quote retweet maybe Variety magazine. Their headline said that he was channeling D'Angelo's voodoo on it, and then they was like, D'Angelo ain't even been dead a whole year yet. Y'all can't be disrespectful.
He had he did a podcast with what's the dude's New York Times.
You talking about the
Podcast.
John Connemar, like the
Yeah,
pop people that do the
Popcast.
stuff, on
Popcast.
New York Times.
And I seen the clip where he was like, "Yeah, I feel like I listen to R&B. I got blacker." He literally said that. Now I know that he was having. I know that he was having sarcasm. You know
I'm sure he was,
but
what?
it's just like that's terrible clip.
Oh yeah, no, it's funny. It's funny to me. I haven't given the music a chance yet. It'll probably be a minute. I'll probably have to catch it like on a whim because that's how I caught all of Jack Harlow's music. I never really dug into none of his projects. I have heard a couple songs. It's like, who is this? They be like, this is Jack Harlow. Okay, I kind of like that
Jack
song.
Harlow got some good songs.
Yeah. Like that joint with Static Major. That's really my joint right there. Yeah, but yeah, it's interesting. I know I also saw people like making posts talking about like if y'all really want white blue eyes, so like check out Jameson, early Robin Thicke, Michael McDonald, so on and so forth. Which cool, all of that fine. I think the big thing is really a continuation of the conversation about how white artists typically will co-opt black music, come up and like kind of pick it up and play with it as if it's not a culture and people's livelihoods attached to it. This is not like some shit you just go to Walgreens and just like buy and walk out the store with. This is like really motherfuckers' way of life for real. Like I say, I'll wait to hear it, but it's all jokes, man. I don't know. Like Jack Harlow, he ain't really even been much of a big star in a while. I know he had his run and
he had that one joint.
But
did you fuck with J. Cole project? Did we talk about that?
I liked it enough. It's not my favorite one. I'm a Forest Hills and KOD kind of guy when it comes to J. Cole, but like, and I hope it's not his last album. I know people like, oh, it's supposed to be his last.
I mean, that's what he said.
Yeah, I know, but like
he was just like this version of himself.
Okay,
that's
cool.
Like the rapper.
Yeah, give it some.
You don't got nothing else to really say.
Yeah, give it some open-endedness or whatever. Like, I mean, I because I do listen to enough J. Cole, I think he is good at living and being able to talk about life, which is really what you need. I feel like to be an MC that keeps it going for real. That's why also I think like Andre 3000, I feel you, bro. You old, you just not trying to race with the young cats, but like you are also a person that like lives life and
Andre.
Raps about it. Like what? Life of the Party is one of like I've cried listening to that verse before, bro. Cause like what?
An all-timer.
What are we talking about?
I get what he's saying, but I think I agree with you. I guess I think that's only weird from Andre 3000 because it's like like he made the love he made the love below.
Yeah.
So it's just like I don't even think people. Of course, people want you to rap, but it's like people just like your musical output, your vocal musical output.
I went and watched the Flute movie, me and Gianni. I didn't love it, but I didn't. I sat through it, but
I couldn't get with
he will get my money because he is influential to me and one of the greatest artists, period, that I've ever seen in my life.
100%. But that's why I'm just like, but on the music tip, I just don't understand, like, why he acting like we like he act like we need Swiss beats and you know what I'm saying? Like that's just interesting to me that he was like, as a rap, because it's like you Andre 3000, but you know. It's just hard. I get where he's coming from, but I don't get it.
Yeah, and I think also sometimes I'll be having to remind myself that like these people are artists and like we're artists, and we could get very self-conscious
every day
in our head about so many different things. And
it's probably like, just don't know
just because you like are one of the greatest fucking artists of all time don't mean that you don't.
He was like, so big during the blog era that he don't know that we exist. I think. I think that's what it is. I think that he don't know that like we just out there. Because one of his points was like, well, I listen to like the Future, and it's like, I guess Andre 3000. If you're comparing yourself to Future, then you should rap.
You probably like.
If you think that if rap only lives where Future is, then you should rap.
You probably.
But what Earl Sweatshirt fans and Mike and those are the younger versions. You know what I'm saying? Like it's J. Cole fans. Like shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
really an Outkast reunion is what the streets need for real.
I could see
they be hanging out and still like studio sessions and shit, going and fucking around.
I would love to hear what that sound like. I know it's got to be different too, because like Rico Wade not being here.
Yeah.
But they hadn't made a lot of music with Rico Wade in years per se. Like so they had already taken that step independently on their own, but again, being a nigga in a group, I definitely understand that. Like, it ain't no group if the other nigga don't want to be in a group.
I just had a crazy idea, man. because I think we damn near was talking about some futuristic, fantastical shit on the back end of the last episode too. But if the Neptunes were to make up, and then Andre 3000 and Big Boy come back together and reunite as Outkast, I ain't even got to do a whole project, but I would actually love to hear a Neptunes produced.
Yeah, what do I never work?
A Neptunes produced Outkast record would probably be one of the wildest things I've ever heard.
There are no Neptunes Outkast records, right?
I don't think so. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think that the Neptunes ever produced
even
nothing.
On a remix.
Yeah,
like even
I
like
don't
a
think
verse.
so.
You know what I'm saying? Like somebody got a verse with somebody. Like
New Nars Barkley, I think might have just recently dropped. I need to check
Nars
that
Barkley
out.
did drop or whatever. Yeah, because even I like, a lot of people didn't like it, but I like Brent Faiyaz's project.
I listened to some of it. It was smooth. Like it's
Yeah.
definitely something I'm probably.
I mean, but his music is like that. Like you like what you like. Like his music never was like hitting like these like highs that I've just never heard. And I'm like, oh my god, like you know what I'm saying? Like I like that he got into a different pocket or whatever. So like when he performed, he got different shit. Like that's
he got a cool vibe too. I fuck with him. I didn't meet him, but like I was near him at at New York Fashion Week when I was up there a couple of years ago, whatever. And I just peeped like, okay, this is kind of early. Like he's still rising a little bit. I'm like, okay, you got some star power to you. You're not really acting like a dickhead or like being too, but
right.
Like he really mixed with the people. Apparently, like he be bartending at they homie bar in LA from time to time too. So
that seems like
it's I like when
niggas
celebrities
regular,
go
bro.
And do like regular people shit too, because like they're still people. Bro.
We're still people, still on earth. You know,
niggas don't be as rich as you think they is just because they got a hit record,
bro.
I don't know his pockets, but just in general, they definitely be out here with crazy ass side quests.
You know what I mean? Got to instantly before I go broke like Jock. No, shout out to Force.
That nigga ripped. I saw.
Hey, yo, Jock, good doing push-ups.
Oh, I'm thinking Ja Rule. That's what I'm thinking.
No, you talking about? I'm talking about Young Jock. I seen that nigga. Young
he
Jock
driving the Uber, don't he?
Nah, I think he was doing like a promo or something.
Okay. I remember when that clip went viral. I wasn't mad at it.
That's why I said that though. Yeah, that's funny as hell. That nigga said, "Before I go broke like Jock." That's hilarious. And made a hit, an actual hit song off of that. Well, yeah, man. Happy 314 day to y'all.
Happy 314 day, man.
You know, like always, stay safe, stay black, stay real.
Yeah. TTYL, y'all. We'll catch y'all very soon.
Peace, man.
Peace. So did that record and go on live at the same time? I didn't ask that.